Hi, my name is Alexis, and I taught the Intro to Fans class. So, for starters, we talked about the importance of stretching. We talked about a few stretches. For instance, just talked about the possibility of also using the fans to stretch behind your back. And then we talked about fans in absolute space. So, in other words, how the fans move in general, not in relation to anything, but just how they can move total. So, to start, we talked about the fact that we have kind of a standard grip, a reverse grip, and we can also use our thumb. Okay. We can also face our grips either outwards, away from ourselves, or we can face them inwards towards ourselves. We talked about the three planes: wheel, wall, floor. And we talked about circles, glides, and folds, or as I like to say, rotation, translation, or reflection in geometric terms. So we've got circles, rotation, we've got translation, glides, things like that. Okay. And we've got reflection, or folds, so we can fold like this. We can pick a particular wick to fold it around, or, like that. We can even fold like that around this point. We talked about Russian versus Tech grip. Russians are the wide ones. Tech ones have these kind of spokes on the sides. They're also sometimes called noodle grips. Talked about fan care and making sure that we oil our steel fire fans regularly so they don't rust, especially if we have really clammy hands like I do, or if they've been in the rain or the damp. We talked about the movement of fans in relation to the spinner and in relation to each other. So we talked about movement locations, that for instance we can spin close to our shoulder or down by our hip. We can spin away from us. We can spin using our fingers or our thumbs. We can spin using our wrists. We can have movement from our wrist. We can have movement from our elbow. And we can have movement from our shoulder. If we take that movement at the shoulder and we just do a circle, then we do extension, which requires a grip shift at the bottom while gravity is holding our fan for us. And then we come back around or the other way. And to get used to and comfortable with those grip shifts. We talked about timing and direction, how we've got forward and reverse, and we've got together same time, we've got together split time, we've got opposite direction, same time, and we've got split time. And we got a quick preview of also how fans can move in relationship to each other through fan relations, swim cocks, S, W, I, M, big C, little c, O, X. We talked about in-spin versus anti-spin, how in-spin means that the direction of your hand and the direction of the fan are going in the same direction, and anti-spin where the direction of the fan is opposite your hand direction. And to practice that, you can just take the top fan, you can take the fan from the top for in-spin, and when it's at the top of its rotation, bring it down to the next point, and when it's at the outside of its rotation, bring it down to the next point, etc. And for in-spin, if my hand's going to go right, then I'm going to let the fan fall left, so the fan's falling that way as my hand is going the opposite way. If I'm going down, then I'm going to kick the fan up while my hand goes down. And once we practice each of those, then we can practice stringing them together like that. We talked about the fact that they can function like a lot of other props. They can function like poi, in that, poi we can make circles like that. We can also hold on to them like a staff, for instance, and do hip reels or shoulder reels or whatever we want, like a 2-beat on staff. They can also function like hoops, for instance. We talked about the fact that one of the fun things about fans is that because they're static props, you can really, move. You can really stylize them, which is great. You can, insert tracers. So we talked about just how to do a basic reel, and then talked about how the fact that, we can just take that, and then we can, pull it down our body, something like that, insert some danciness there. And we talked about how the mirrors are your friends. We talked about crossers, and so if we started right here, then the hand closest to us is our leading hand when our hands are crossed, and so it leads down. When we can't go any further, our leading hand flips around and becomes our follow hand. We keep going around the circle. When we can't go anymore, leading hand again comes around, bumps against our old follow hand, which is now our new leading hand again, and then completes. We can do that the other way as well if our hands are the other way. And that's it. Thank you so much for everyone who showed up.